Talking about Dig or Die, Christmas Clash 2022. First of all, let me say that Chad on Limpy's broadcast was hilarious. Tico, oh man, funny stories. He's a riot. I was laughing all day long. Anyway, Saturday, December 3rd, 22. RTFO. Yeah. Rained the frick out. No racing. Sunday, December 4th, 22, 7 a.m. Final touches being applied to the track. They had 63 pairs. And the reason I know that because Turbo John was one of the ones in the 62nd pair. The first pair fired up at 8 a.m. Central. And as the story developed, there was two big upsets. Chicken Hawk was upset, and Bobby Park was upset. And I believe they both had troubles with their cars. Anyway, there was just a lot of cars, and there's a lot of people and a lot of rounds. And after a while, from watching them, it's just a blur. You don't really know what is what. So, one person may know 10 cars, like Chicken Hawk, Schoolboy, Bumper Wilson, Mike Guntner. I don't think he was there. I actually don't think he was there. But I know in the past that he did win either Darlington or Dig or Die in a small block Ford. Other cars I know are Jared Bradshaw, Brandon Shannon, Nick from Hustlin' Horsepower, Boost 12, Kendall Goen. Who else is there? I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Noah Stein. Gap Train. That's who I'm forgetting. Sherm. Everyone knows that truck. MR2. Turbo John. So one person maybe 10, 11, 12 cars maybe. And then after that, you're, you don't know. But there were 63 pairs, let's say. So how it goes, you have 63 pairs in the first round, 32 in the second, 16, like that. So Duplicate, he helped a lot, Duplicate. We got into the facts and he got into the facts and he started listing pair numbers and drivers on chat. And I was reiterating drivers' names and what lane won using Limpy's big end cam. Limpy had three cameras, starting line, mid-track, and big end. And by Duplicate listing those pairs and the names, it was giving the race a semblance of order on the chat. It made it a lot easier to follow because you always have people coming in and they asking about their favorite driver, and in most cases we could answer them. Somebody could answer them, so they did get an answer. And an interesting point was, some of those races are close. Whether you're using the camera or not. Some you can't tell. It's just a headline bezel difference, or a headlight, or 1/10 of a bumper. Really close races. But Limpy brought up a good point. He was saying that that when the camera at the finish line is straight across the line, it favors the left lane. I have no opinion on that. He just brought. I thought it was an interesting point. Anywhere. Mitch Kaufman versus MR2. Mitch in the left lane, MR2 in the right lane. Third pair. Come down the track. Mitch is winning. He's going to win. He's going to cross the line. Kablooey. Grenades his motor going across the line. But he got the win. So, the promoter's job, they've got the final call on these races. No matter what happens, they got the final call. So, in retrospect, they knew what their mission was. Number one, keep all the drivers safe. And number two, keep all the spectators safe. Pretty simple. And so here came their decision. There's no way to clean 7 to 10 quarts of oil off the left lane to safely complete the event. We were in the fourth round. Okay, that's the last 16 drivers. This happened at the third pair. So night was falling. You know the dew blanket was coming. And we had 16 drivers in the round, and the event-ending incident happened. So, someone said on the chat that in 2023, it should be mandatory at Dig or Die and Darlington, you have to run an oil pan diaper. Another said, ain't no diaper going to hold that back. And that guy could be right. I mean, it grenaded. So would a diaper hold catastrophic bottom end failure from wiping out a lane? It's not for me to say. I don't even know if the car in question had a diaper or not. You don't get that kind of info on the chat. But I'm sure the driver didn't feel very good about it, It wasn't his fault, So, the question becomes, what are the changes that would ensure the final race between the final two guys standing? I mean, you're at Dig or Die Christmas Clash, and you're one of the 16 guys left standing. Oh, my stars. I consider that rarefied air. This is my favorite race. I love this race out of any of them. So looking at it objectively, you got 132 cars approximately in small tire, and that's a pretty constant. I've watched about 5 of these. That's pretty constant. It could go up, and I hope it does. I'd like to see 175 cars. That'd be wonderful. But the big tire runs on Friday, as you know, and small tire on Saturday. But what if we change things around a little bit, and the big tire ran 2 rounds, or the promoter runs 2 rounds out of each class on Friday night. Well, Friday night. And on Saturday, run the big tire quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. In between the latter 6 rounds of small tire, reducing those long turnaround times, because, you can easily wait an hour between rounds. And so have big tire step in at that moment, in those moments, and in between those rounds, and spectators have something to watch. And before you know it, here comes the next round for small tire. And so on Saturday, theoretically, finish everything up completely. There are 2 facts, though. Small tire will be 6 rounds. I don't think you can get around that. And the other fact is that rain will mess up everything, no matter what you do. So what you ended up with was the promoters taking charge, making an unfavorable decision, despite the flack. And everyone, spectators and drivers, they left the facility, and they were safe. And some drivers had some jingle in their pocket. Not all bad, Was it the right thing to do? It was absolutely the right thing to do. Will I tune in again? I will absolutely tune in again. As long as they have it, I'm tuning in somewhere. I can't wait. And when the first 2 pairs fire up in small tire, you'll hear me yelling, "Whammer jammer, let me hear you, Ricky!"